If you like steak and eat it for dinner often, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Folks, welcome back. I know AB just said that Joel might be upset that they weren't punctual, but live trading is punctual. So we're here to get you ready for the open. We're going to make some money today. We got 13 in the back. Let's go ahead and roll it.
Welcome to Benzinga Live Trading.
Let's see if this actually kind of comes back.
Way out of control, got way too high.
All right. Hey, I will take that. I will absolutely take that.
All right, folks. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Live Trading. It is great to be back with you. Great to see a whole bunch of returning faces. You think the video is unlisted? Uh-oh. Where's Alyssa? I'll go ahead and look into that. But let's go ahead and bring on 13. 13, how are you doing here today?
I'm full of steak.
That was for you. That was for you, that opener there. So how was it?
Oh, it was delicious. We all know the different, I hope we do know the different types of steak cuts there are and how they can, be more lean or more fatty and flavorful. I went with a New York strip last night. Really good. So enjoyed that. Okay.
Sounds good. Well, at least you had a good dinner and you're prepared for today. Folks, I am looking into why the video seems to be unlisted. It does seem like we actually have a little bit fewer people here. We'll get that solved here. No problem. In the meantime, let's go ahead and dive into the market. First thing that we're going to discuss here is the SPY. Now, SPY yesterday, you had a really good comment yesterday for happy hour that I kind of want to repeat and bring to the group here on Live Trading. Correct me if I get the stat wrong here. I'm going from memory. I don't have it in front of me, but I believe that you said that the last 8 days of SPY have produced a new record high.
Yeah, we just had the 8th day in a row, trading day in a row, close with a new all-time high in each of those days. This has been happening since July 3rd. So,
and 3 of those 8 days, the candle has actually closed near that all-time high, as opposed to setting an all-time high and then coming back in and closing beneath it. So, so what do you make of this? Do you? I guess I should start with that, huh? Do you make anything of this? And if you do, what is it?
Well, that seems to be the trend right now. So I don't think it would be unreasonable to expect to see more new all-time highs. But at some point, we're going to end up having to, stop that and come back in and correct or pull back. The thing I've been looking at right now is that we're getting some, long upper shadows here in the daily SPY chart with the past 2 days. And we've also discussed how we're going to probably be trading into a little bit sideways for a time. I still need to see that 555 level fall in order to feel more comfortable about saying, yeah, the top's probably likely in and will be correcting or pulling back a little bit from here. I don't feel like saying that right now because like I said, we just continue to make new all-time highs every day for 8 days in a row now. So I want to see some of these other levels to the downside get taken out for some confirmation, and that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, and I agree with you. And I mean, it's tough to try and call the top. And if you're, doing that with any type of size, it can really be painful. So I'm with you there. We'll play what we can or what we can find here. So, let's go ahead and take a look at the movers, figure out what's on deck for today, and then we can actually break down some of the earnings prints as well as taking tickers here from the chat. I'm going to start with the movers list here. First one on the list is going to be Silo, ticker SILO. This is Silo Pharma. Huge move here. Stock moved above $1 yesterday, or maybe the day before, as it kind of flirted with that level. Today, however, Silo Pharma shares trading higher after the company obtained an exclusive global license to develop, manufacture, and commercialize its Alzheimer's drug. So, we're getting PR here about an Alzheimer's drug. We've seen this before quite a bit. We know all about how Alzheimer's drugs can make the stock react. Today we've had one impulse move met with a regressive move and then a much, much larger impulse move. Volume has actually looked pretty good. We're holding above the VWAP here, which is 215. We've actually run into some resistance here at 250 in the pre-market, but we haven't broken down from that yet. So it'll be interesting to see if we can actually take this out, whether it be in the pre-market or in the regular session here. 13, I know you took a look at Silo here. What do you have for today?
There's not a whole lot of really interesting things about this one. It has a 3.5 million share float. License to sell their their drug is obviously the big news. Don't see any reverse splits or short interest of worth mentioning. It's not very large. The things I'd be looking for with this one are just previous levels. The first one being, since we're above $2 now, I'd see that we need to watch for what happens around 265. There's a couple of there's a lagging indicator there on a daily chart, so 500-day SMA. So that's one thing to watch for. But we also have had previous spikes in past trading days, namely back in August and June of 2023, prior to this year. Those highs would be the next levels I'd be looking for upside, and that is going to be at about 288, 290, and 3 to 305.
Okay, so here you go. You can see all of those spikes right here on the daily chart. Okay, let me address a couple of things here real quick. Jane asking, is it me or is this show hard to find on YouTube? Looks like we had a little snafu listing the actual show today. I'm sorry about that. Does look like people are coming in here. Bob said I couldn't find it. Lynn said hard to find this morning. It looks like it just had to do with the way that it was listed. I'll be sure to bring that here to the team. We should have it fixed for today and also going forward. So sorry about that. We'll try and be 2% better here tomorrow. I'll work with the team as soon as I get off today and figure out how I can help. Glad to have you here, and nonetheless. So you can always, if you want, you can always just kind of save the URL, youtube.com/@Benzinga, and that'll always take you to the live show. But nonetheless, we'll work on getting that a little bit better. And Jane, you were also saying Benzinga should figure out a way for one show to go into the next one. We have that. I suspect that it wasn't set correctly or something like that here this morning. Again, I will check in on all that later today. Appreciate the feedback here from the group. Okay, so for Silo here, we'll see if we actually blast off out of this silo or if we come back in. This is definitely one I want to see what the opening print gives us, because sometimes we can learn a little bit about how the stock's going to trade right there at the open. So
yeah, let's see if it just holds VWAP into the open. I think that's what we would want to see at first. The MACD is still kind of going down, even though the price is going sideways. So that's not bad. Let's just see what happens at the open and hope that the VWAP still holds up by the time that happens.
Okay. Latanya, really good suggestion here. Choose to get all notifications for the channel. The notification will come to you. There you go. There you go. Awesome stuff. Okay, let's move on to the next stock here. Next one I've got is going to be WNW. Now, 13, I have never pulled up this stock before. So this, to me, we're gonna break this down as best we can, but this definitely want to wait and see how this thing trades. WNW here, this was a penny stock yesterday, ramped right after the close, traded up to about 140, some pretty obvious resistance there. We actually fell, we're beneath the VWAP here today, but so far, so good. We're doing an all right job holding the $1 level here. When I take a look at the news, I didn't really see anything. I know that we had a Form 10 and the annual report after hours, but I didn't see anything here fresh today. So this must just kind of be being driven from what's going on yesterday. Did you go through any of this stuff here?
No, I wasn't interested in this one.
Yeah.
The thing for me is that, this was under $1 until, prior to the 10K. So for me, that still means it's going to probably end up falling back into $1 territory. I don't know how much this runs today. I think it's probably just going to end up being another one of these, junky Chinese names. I don't know anything about this company. I didn't cover this one this morning. It just wasn't one that interested me. So sorry, I don't have any details on it. But if you're interested in trading it, let's just keep it back up on your watch list and we'll see what it does when we open. I just don't have levels or anything on this one because I was more interested in covering some other ones.
Yeah, with something with no real like fresh news, I'm with you on that. Again, with a stock that we've never traded here before, I want to see how it trades first, get some of that information, which should help with the trading plan. Just a couple more things here. On average, the stock trades 300,000 shares. Today, it's already traded 6.6 million. Float here, 2.9 million. Short percent of float, 1%. So really not a whole lot of short interest here, but that's what's going on. We'll take a look here. WNW. Not sure if this will actually make for a great trade here today. Next on the list here is going to be SciSpark, and this is one we're actually familiar with. So this actually spiked above 140, really kind of gave it up. It's been using the VWAP as resistance ever since that first move through here. We've traded this one before. We've seen some of the volatility here before. SciSpark announces a U.S. patent application for treating metabolic syndrome for weight loss. So you're getting that weight loss PR in there, which is driving it. However, it's just a patent. What do you think here on SPRC, SciSpark?
There's even more interesting news that came out last week about how it's going to be potentially spinning off its clinical stage pharmaceutical portfolio. So that's interesting in itself. Now, this isn't one that I really looked at this morning because it's about to trade back under $1 again. But I can tell you that the float here we have is 3.2, we'll just call it 3.25 million. So very low float. Short interest, not really anything to worry about. They had looks like they had a 1 for 26 reverse split back in September 28th of 23. So I really don't know what to make of this one. We can try and trade it, but it looks like it's going back under $1. And that's usually when you start to see shorts pile in and try to take it down even further. So I'm not sure that I'll be touching this one this morning. But if you want to trade it, don't let me stop you.
I'm with you on that. I think that one of the big things that, especially for me, one of the things that I need to be doing is focusing on better setups. And I don't think we're going to get that here in SPRC. But I know a lot of our traders here in our channel are really good at grabbing some of these smaller ones. So I'm glad we're at least covering it here. Do see a range up to 140. Sorry, what was that?
It is worth keeping this on your radar for when they do spin that off their pharmaceutical segment, because that could be a catalyst that takes it up again and maybe even higher than where it's at now.
Okay. Really good stuff there. Let's move on here. Next is going to be BDRX. This is Biotech Pharmaceuticals. The stock. What is going on with the price level 140 here today? This also popped to 140, roundly rejected and came back in. Looks like it's going down towards that $1 level. Biodexa shares are trading higher after Health Canada approved phase 2A dose confirmation study for one of its drugs for type 1 diabetes. So we're getting a diabetes PR here. This is a pop and drop on BDRX. This is one that we've traded here before. You can see actually the last time we popped, we did the exact same thing. We popped and dropped and we really didn't get another upside move. We'll see if we get that here today, but I would be wary of this one. You got anything that you wanted to cover here on BDRX?
Well, didn't we even cover this last week? That was the last time it had movement up in this direction. Towards the over $1 and up to the 150 area. Mm-hmm. The last time that it moved up was back on the 11th, and that got as high as 170. It looks like right at the open, and then it just went straight down and didn't recover. So let's say 170 is the first upside target we'll be looking for with this one. And if it gets that far and goes higher, then the next upside target will be we can draw from May, where it got almost as high as $3 on 96. Yeah, 296. So that will be there, and I guess even 265. 265, $3 would be the next levels I would have above 170. So if we were going to be trading this, those are the upside targets I'd be shooting for. The float is 9 million shares, still easily manageable to push around. The short interest and the reverse split didn't have anything of note that I'd be paying attention to. So I'll just be focusing on my levels and the momentum and the volume.
Okay. Yeah. BDRX 1 hour chart, really, really clear here what those key levels are. Read together here saying, are you looking for which stocks to trade today? Or are you going over that as well? We are literally going over the gapping movers from today. This is what we do every single day. The one thing, we are not going to tell you what to trade. If that's what you're looking for, you'll have to look elsewhere. What we're going to do is prepare you for what's moving. And ultimately, you, the trader, are going to make the decision on what to trade. Hope that is helpful. Okay, next here is going to be Aeon. This is ticker AEON, Aeon Biopharma here. Let me actually move to a little bit more intraday chart here. We had a big ramp yesterday, and we've actually held some of that move here today. So really the question is going to be, do we kind of gear up for another move here today? I didn't really see anything fresh here for today. We just kind of got the pre-market levels that we're carving out here. I've got that at about 298. We might as well call that 337 if we can get up there. First step here, though, is going to be to get above the VWAP. Now, 13, you got anything here on AEON?
So like you, I didn't see any news that would be driving this. It does have a 22 million share float. And when I start to see something like that where it doesn't seem like it's moving on any news, I try to do a little bit of a deeper dig. Maybe there's something in the finances that I can draw upon in order to get an idea of where this might go. This company needs cash. It needs cash badly. So the concern here for me is that if we're going to trade this, keep in mind that they may come out with an offering at some point and try to get the money that they need. Because when we look at the finances, we can see that their income statement, they lose millions every quarter. So they don't have a whole lot of cash on hand right now. They have, according to their balance sheet, $1.5 million. So they're going to have to raise at some point. Don't know if that's going to happen today. Can't say when it's going to happen, but just keep that in mind. If this starts to run and it's looking like things are really good, take your, don't be afraid to take your profits, because high stock price for certain companies that need to raise cash, they will hit that. They will try to do an offering as high up as they can. They will try to get as much money out of the offering as they can, and that will cause the stock price to plummet. So just be careful with this one. They need cash. I don't know when they're going to raise, but it's something they're going to have to do. So keep that in mind when you're trading this. Yeah,
real good stuff there. And I think the most important point is something that you emphasized several times there. We don't know when it's coming. Could come later today. So just be careful there. Okay, next here is going to be GovX. This is GeoVax Labs. We've traded this one a whole bunch. This is bordering on the line of being an ex-girlfriend, because this is on the scanner so often. We've traded it so many times here. GeoVax Labs are trading higher after Roth MKM initiated coverage on the stock with a buy rating and announced a $20 price target. $20 price target. Price right here is $3. You can see this initially popped towards 380, came all the way back down to 3, held there, and has now moved a little bit higher, holding here right at 315, although it did try to get above the VWAP. We'll see if it's got the strength to do that here today. GOVX, we've traded this one a whole bunch. Float about 2.5 million. We're approaching about halfway through the session volume. Market hasn't even opened yet. You got anything on this one? You like this one? What do you think of their $20 price target?
I think because it only went up about 12% in this pre-market, that I stopped short of covering that one. The ones I covered this morning are SILO, AEON, BDRX, and LASE. This one I didn't really look at, but now that I'm seeing that it has a pretty sizable short interest here.
50% of its float shorted.
Yeah. Now, because it's got a small float, they're obviously able to cover that in a day, especially with the average volume that we've been seeing lately. So they can cover their position in a day. That's one thing. But I think we're going to see some pretty big violent moves when it comes to short covering. It looks like we already have. Earlier this morning, we had one that took it all the way up to 380. So look for big moves to happen in this one. Should we get some more upside? I don't have levels on this one, unfortunately for you, but this is something that could be really lucrative, especially if they're we're getting coverage and targets, price targets of $20. There's a lot of room left to go, and if we start traveling up into towards that direction, we could continue to squeeze even more.
Yeah, indeed. And levels here are pretty easy. $3 is your level to the downside. 340 is the first one that we need to get over, and 380, the big one that is highlighted here in the pre-market. Obviously, the VWAP is going to change currently at 321. I'm with you there on the whole short interest here. We got a $20 price target now. Very high short interest. Definitely a candidate for a squeeze. We'll see if we end up getting that. Really quickly, I did just want to mention that cost is popping. We've talked about this one as being kind of one of those stocks that moves with some of the meme stocks, high short interest stocks. This popped here, really no news. I'm not really sure we need to cover it. I do really quickly want to go over Lassie because we've traded this one before. I know that you were looking at this one here. Laser Photonic shares trading higher after the company announced the launch of its MarkStar handheld VIN. This is a laser that does VIN, I guess, laser engraving to make car parts traceable, which is important. Obviously, this popped above 260, really kind of come back and bled back most of its gains here. Actually used the VWAP as resistance as well. Is this over here on Lassie, or might we have something coming up?
For me, I'm going to wait and see what happens at the open. I don't want to see it go too far underneath $2, because if it does, then it's probably just going to be something we take off our screen and look elsewhere for trades.
Yeah.
Right. But I am just kind of looking at how it's bled back almost everything it moved up on, and if it doesn't bounce around, just under $2, then that's the way I'm going to do. I'm just going to look at something else and trade something else, not even worry about it.
Here are some levels here for you: 228, 251, 280. Those come off the 15-minute chart from the last time that Lassie was active here. Okay, that takes care of some of our openers here. Now we can go over some of the stocks that you folks wanted to take a look at. I did note Jeff Bezos. Welcome, Jeff. Can you stop selling Amazon at 200, please, so that can go above it? Just asking here for a friend. Anyway, Jeff here is asking, QS looks good to run to 928 here. So this is an interesting one. First of all, if we take a look at the daily chart here, QS obviously being a beneficiary of this rotation into smaller cap names. QuantumScape, this is a quantum computing angle, is it not? Engaged in the development of the next generation solid state lithium metal batteries used for electric vehicles. Excuse me, this is a battery maker. It's developed in anode-less cell design, which delivers high energy. So here you go, battery play. This is actually a huge move. Here's the big thing on this one. If you're going to trade this one, I would be very, very tactical on this. I would not want to chase this huge move. Let this come in a little bit. At minimum, let this come into the 500-day. Definitely love when stocks pop above these moving averages and then close several times above them, but I'm not necessarily trying to chase this move here. Did you have anything here on QS that you wanted to go over? I know this wasn't one of the movers, but I thought maybe if you had looked at this in the past or have a thought on it.
You basically hit my thoughts on the head. That breakout over the 500 is something that we've been wanting to see with this one for a while. You can look to the left and see that the 500 has been a big point of resistance for this the company every time it rallies. You can look at August of 23 and January of 24 for those rejections. And today, or I'm sorry, not today, earlier this week, it looks like actually Friday, we finally broke out of that. Now, to your point, because the RSI is really extended on this one, we do want to see this one come back. Where is it going to come back? I would like to see it come back and hold above the 500-day SMA. Use that as support now that it has broken out of it. So it's resistance turn support level. If we get that and we get the price to hold above that after testing it for a number of days, that would, I think, would be a good sign that this is going to try to move up even further. I don't know how high this goes, but we can infer upside targets from these levels that we have the prices risen to in the past. First one being $10.
Okay, there you go. And actually the $10 level jumps off the chart here at 13. So if we do continue here, I agree with you. I think $10 is definitely going to be a resistance area. Okay, one of the other stocks that multiple people have brought up, I know that they talked about this on pre-market prep as well, is going to be Schwab. This is ticker SCHW. Schwab down 7.5% here in the pre-market, down to a 69 handle. They had earnings this morning and they didn't go well. Now, the big thing here that several of you have mentioned, or I think it was stay focused in here. Let me make sure I get this quote correct. Here we go. Just broke major support. Yikes. So here we go. Here's the support Stay Focused is talking about. There was a bottom put in here. Maybe it was 69 thereabout. Let's see what the low of this candle was. 69.48. And then the other thing, if we look back here, back to March of this year, this was actually a former resistance area. We're actually still above that. And then if we look back even further into December, the end of December last year, this was clearly an area where Schwab was finding some resistance. So We are actually set up here. I know we said we lost this support area, and we did lose this here. But again, instead of thinking in terms of this being a specific point, let's more or less think of this as an area. I actually think you have a potential bounce spot here with Schwab. Now, not saying it's going to do that, but it does have a potential here being at that support. The other thing to keep in mind here is we don't know how great that support's going to be. So maybe we do get a short-lived bounce only to then retest those lows later today. Definitely one that I'm watching out of the open here. Obviously, I have no position in this. I would love to hear how you folks are attacking this. If you have a trade plan here on Schwab, we've talked about the banks quite a bit here. I've mentioned how I'm not great at trading the banks, but I am interested in that. So, okay, we are open. Let's see where we go. First move here on Schwab was up. As a reminder, the stream is sponsored by Trade the Pool. So if you need help getting above the 25K day trading threshold, Trade the Pool can help you with that. Can also help give you some more dry powder. We are off. Let's get it here today, folks.
All right. First things first. What are we looking at first?
Robert here saying, good. I'm so mad at Schwab. I want to be able to trade from 925 to 928. Are they not letting you pre-market trade or something? Is that what's going on? Uh-oh, we've got Skynet's taken over and 13's home. By the way, QS here, which was mentioned right at the beginning, big power stick right out of the gate above 9 there. We'll see where this ends up going. SPRC SciSpark back in the penny territory as that continued to break down. Looks like it just recrossed 1. We'll see what that how that can go. Sorry if I ran you over.
It's okay. AEON trying to get back. It's above its VWAP now, trying to hold above it, trying to push as well. Looks like it wants to get above 290. SILO holding VWAP. Looks like that's trying to push up to 260 as well. We'll see if that happens. BDRX below VWAP. This one might continue to move down slowly. Same with LASE beneath VWAP. So that's currently what's happening with those.
Okay. Real quick, Robert Smith saying they won't let you trade at that time. They won't let you trade for like the 3 minutes prior to the open. It seems like they're doing something wrong in there. You can't trade for 5 minutes before the open and 5 minutes after the close, says Webcoin. Interesting. Well, I don't trade in those extended sessions, so that didn't really affect me, but that seems arbitrary and dumb.
All right, AEON pushing. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, it's totally fine, man. At least you're focused on stocks here. AEON pushing above the VWAP here. Interestingly, Schwab did bounce a little bit right out of the open, reclaim the VWAP. It's trying to decide which direction it's going to go here on Schwab.
All right, folks, what else are you seeing out there? GME, well, let's take a look. Let's see what it's doing. Oh yeah, this one's moving up. 2850 is the current high, trying to push back, push above it. Let's see here. Does this one typically? Oh, this is the 1 hour chart. This one typically likes to pop and go high in the first hour, and then it just leaks the rest of the day.
I'm sorry, which one I was locked
this
in
is
here?
This is GME.
GME.
Yeah. So that will provide some trades. Looks like we might see some activity here from SILO. That one was moving up there just a second ago. Now it's turned around and gone down.
Schwab testing 70 here. Let's see if we break beneath on 70. Silo just giving up that VWAP. Move lower here in Schwab. So that bounce very, very short-lived. PKLF from WIS. Is this a penny stock? Indeed. WIS on the penny train. This actually broke VWAP and is going towards the highs. Take a look at BDRX here right off the scanner. BDRX rejected at the VWAP right around the open. We'll see if this can build up some strength again. Right now, it doesn't really have it. WNW not doing a whole lot. Sorry, 13.
I was just going to say that's the one I saw Webcoin mention. That's the retail Chinese name that we were mentioning earlier. It looks like it's trying to push above the 65 EMA, and then subsequently it'll be testing the VWAP. So GME came in a little bit after hitting 28.55. Looks like Silo is in danger of losing its VWAP. AEON, this one looks like it's going to be the one that's producing the most movement this morning. of the small names that we covered before the bell. Obviously, there's some other ones that are doing better. Looks like GME had a better move. What else? LASC down to 65 EMA.
There's some of the more. There's the selling in Schwab. I was waiting. I was like, this is feeling like it's trying to hold in there, but I suspect there's some more wave of selling. Here it comes. Okay, so this is kind of what we were waiting for.
Gene had mentioned FARM, firm.
AFRM?
Yes, AFRM. And this
Firm
one is
32 print.
Yeah, it's been on a steady decline since the let's call it the end of last year, with a little bit of pops in between. Maybe today we get another one. So if that happens, then let's look for some levels here. I'm
going to go back to a firm, but I don't know. The little man in my stomach is saying that Schwab probably bounces here for that last flush. We'll see. Let me just grab a real small starter here, and then I can go back.
I like 34.50, 37.40, and call it 39.50 for AFRM. Those would be my upside targets.
And buyer beware on Schwab. Algo's picked me off a couple of times. Were you trying to play? Stay focused. Were you trying to play to the long side? Or were you trying to short this here after that support break? I'm going to try here. Let's actually reduce the position size here. I'm going to try a starter here at 69.69 just for the lulls. So we'll see where I ended up getting filled 69.64. So let's see if we can actually get a bounce in here. Reclaim of the VWAP might cause me to add to this. We'll see. I will be careful here, though. Stay focused. Definitely going to exude some caution here. We're going to start by kind of going into this slowly here. Immediately took a hit down. So we'll see. Okay. And you were long. Okay, good. Shop got a big upgrade. Might as well take a look at that. Tony saying that has a big move in it here. Indeed. Shop, this was $65 yesterday. It looks like we're going to test 69 here today.
GMRE trying again.
GMRE, you said?
I'm sorry, GME. I don't know why I keep adding the R in there. Maybe
it's all that stake, dude. It's all that stake.
Yeah.
Look, I'm long GMRE too. I got a bunch of that. So it's all
I just like the stock. So
GMRE.
See, I got you doing it now.
You got me doing it. GME here at the highs. Yep. Guess we might as well check in on AMC. Remember, cost was actually on the list for one of the stocks that was trading up here today. AMC up here, 550. Let's see here on costs. That's up near the pre-market highs.
AFRM.
Silo going.
Is it? Nice.
Oh, no. Sarah, Rick was saying, here goes Silo. That did recapture its VWAP, though.
And it's back beneath it.
And it's back beneath it. Things change fast in this business.
And it's back above it.
AEON, we did have some topside wicks at that VWAP. This is one of the, when you had first mentioned this here, now it actually looks like it's pushing. Let's see if we can break through some of those topside wicks. We might go higher here.
Yeah, let's start with 345. See if we can get above that pre-market high that we put in there.
Checking in on Schwab here. One of the things that we're gonna 68.65. We lose that pre-market high. Probably rethink this one. This is still holding out here near the lows. Looks like I actually just broke some new lows here. Oof. Not ready to bounce yet. Stay focused. You're right about that. Being picked off there. That's why we went in with small size here. ALLO, Allogene Therapeutics. This getting mentioned here. This big spike out of the gate on volume actually went above the 100-day here. That was at 337. So we took that out. Jay mentioning IBM. Take a look at IBM here. See how that's doing. IBM 185. IBM, this has been a nice little curl. Look, we filled that gap here. IBM continuing to move higher here. Schwab, really, really tough. We are not bouncing here yet. Boy, am I glad we went in small on this one. Now we'll see if we can hold this pre-market low. Again, that level down here is at 68.59. Let's call it 68.50. Low print of the day, 68.86. Smoke Tuna, good morning. Bonjour.
Hey.
BTAI with news. What was the news here on BTAI? Looks like that was a lot of action here in the pre-market, but really no carry through to the regular session here yet. Let's see.
There was I thought somebody was asking about this one yesterday. Was it him?
Might have been. Yeah, I feel like we did bring this up yesterday. BioXL Therapeutics announced preliminary sales of one of its drugs for Q2 of approximately 1.1 million, up approximately 90% quarter over quarter and approximately 141% year over year. So Smoke Tuna is right. This is some positive news here. At least it reads positive.
Mm-hmm.
Unaudited second quarter net revenues is your press release that you were getting here this morning.
When did they actually report?
BioXL. Here, let me grab that here for you. I happen to have that handy.
August 12th, it looks like.
Yep. And that haven't confirmed that yet. Last year it was August 14th, so we're right in the ballpark. Year before it was August 9th, so we're right around there. BTAI, looking at the 1 minute chart here, looks like a potential curl back to that VWAP. We'll see if we end up getting that here. Let's see if Schwab has decided if it wants to bounce here yet. Boy, I guess it's trying, but it's just not strong enough to do it.
If AEON gets a little bit more volume expansion, we can. It looks like we're doing it now.
I'm actually going to add a little bit here to Schwab. See if we can get filled on that. We did. So we just doubled up our position here. Still kind of small on it.
All right.
You got mad at your phone, didn't you?
Yes, I told it to be quiet.
Been there. Okay, let's take a look and see what you guys are mentioning. Cost. Good morning, Crow. Hope you are well. We missed you yesterday. Costs here up near the highs. AEON going here.
There it is. Just all we need is just a little bit more volume.
13. You were on that one, man. You were on that one. So, nice little push away. Look at this on this 3 minute chart here. Took 3 candles to wick to the upside before we actually had the strength to do it on that fourth one.
And it might not be done. It might not be done. Still looking for 344. Silo doing the opposite.
And the size that's being thrown on the tape here on the offer for AEON, it's not huge, but it's not even providing any resistance. It's just getting eaten in individual blocks. Just not even a problem. We'll see where this ends up.
They woke up wanting steak.
It looks like Schwab wants its stake now. Is it just reclaim the VWAP there? Hopefully this is things are changing here. We can actually sit on this for a little bit. If this holds and continues to bounce here, that'll prove to be a pretty decent double up near the lows when this thing was really kind of exhausting its sellers. We'll see if this is it yet.
No, I'm not married to a robot.
Alpaca, I was just going to read that 13 Reddit fast. Is he married to a robot? That's funny. That is funny. SPRC. So Smoke Tuna taking a look here at Size Spark. Remember, that was we took a look at that indeed, very much like, what was the Aeon, right? We had a little bit of a jostling there at the VWAP, and now we seem to be pushing away or trying to push away here. SPRC.
Bitcoin names should be doing really well. I see that CLSK is now over 19. So big moves in that one.
And actually, if you take a look here at CLSK, this completely reversed the pre-market drop down. And now we're actually green. So red to green move here, CLSK. Stay focused, saying Schwab now working for me as well. Just needed to be a little bit patient around the open there. But we were able to do that. Good call on that, by the way. Stay focused.
And
the space bar does that. Cool. Okay. You learn something every day, 13.
Yeah.
QS here looks like that came back in. We'll see if it reclaims its VWAP here. QS.
Yeah, that's where it's getting rejected at the moment right now. It would be nice to see that get back above it.
ALLO doing a little bit of consolidation here, but actually looking like it's going to try and bust higher here. ALLO. Schwab continuing to bounce. This is exactly what we wanted. Let's see if we can get above a 71 handle here.
You folks in chat are getting a little wild with your comments.
It's chat. Oh yeah, here we go. Here's a good one. Happy Prime Day. Happy Prime Day. So I'd be curious to know if any of you folks find any deals out there that are really, really great. I'm always curious about this, the quality of the deals versus the number of deals. So let me know.
What's Amazon doing? Well, I guess that's up on the Prime Day. Because it popped and now it's been dropping.
You know what? How is Amazon doing? We haven't even looked at that since Prime Day started. Wasn't there also like some accounts were like on for early Prime Day or something like that? Like if you were a Prime member, you got early access to some of the deals, something like that. Prime Day, I feel like, has been a week-long affair so far. Amazon looks like it tried to go above 196, turned around here. How's the rest of big tech?
Yeah, maybe Jeff Bezos was selling some more. Is he out here still?
Yeah, Jeff, what are you doing out there? Show yourself, Jeff. Hey, bought some rugs and a cooler for my paddleboard. That doesn't sound bad at all. That sounds like a great summertime Prime Day deal. Amazon knocked 29% off an item in my shopping cart. I'll take 29% off. Hell yeah. Looks like you guys are finding some deals. I like it. Schwab here. One of the things we're looking at here with Schwab, I really like this to get above this area right here. It's looking like it's trying. And, you know, with the sellers kind of being exhausted right here at the pre-market low, that's great. But honestly, if we really kind of come back in, we're just going to take this off and wait for it to set up again. I really want to see this move higher.
I wonder what the expectations are for Prime Day. Like, is the expectation that they're going to, you know, do really well? Are they going to sell a lot, or is it going to, if it's under par, you know, is that going to cause the stock to come back in? You know, these are the things I'm wondering right now with as it pertains to Prime Day and what the stock's going to do. What are your thoughts?
The National Geographic Rock Polisher has a good deal. You know, polishing rocks. I am looking for maybe some more hobbies. I'm not sure if polishing rock. I actually did that when I was a kid. I got a rock tumbler as a Christmas gift. Made all kinds of pretty stuff.
Yeah, Webcoin, LASE, that came down and blasted through the where it's been trading for, you know, a couple of weeks now. So unless it can recapture that, this is something that I'd say I'm done with. This is what I was talking about with it. If it went below that, you know, $2 level and started going beneath the this you know, trading, the sideways trading that's been doing for some time now, we're beneath that. So if there's an opportunity here, you know, I'll keep an eye on it with you. But you know, I think this might be done for a little bit.
Tom is asking why Schwab down so much today. Schwab reported earnings here today. It was a beat on the top and the bottom line. However, it was interest income decline weighs on its Q2 results. So that's what's driving it down here. As you can see by the Trade the Pool platform here, we are actually long Schwab for a bounce. I know I have Lassie up here, but in the positions we're long Schwab here. Price was 69.46 for that bounce here.
Joe Dagger was saying PLTR long. I like how we've you know, kind of come down off that movement we had yesterday. I was looking for 29.50, didn't quite get there. Got as high as what is this, 29.30? So pretty close. Now that we're starting to go down, and it looks like it's going down off of a Mizuho downgrade. Let's see what happens at 27.50, which was another level that I had as resistance that's now turned support.
Silo here curling, might be trying to take out the VWAP here. LPA getting a mention here from Crow. This is one of our favorite. This thing went from 15 to 20.69 here today and got halted. Actually gonna,
looks like Silo might be trying to turn around.
Schwab's right, and it's okay. Schwab's right at the VWAP here. I just don't want the trade to go red on me, and I'm just kind of watching how the battle at the VWAP goes here. If we bounce here, we'll stay in this, but if we start to break down further after this bounce, we'll just close it and wait for another setup here on Schwab. It's doing a good job defending its VWAP. Seeing a whole bunch of offers hitting the tape here, and buyers are just soaking them. So until that changes, This is just a pullback to VWAP here. Oh, sorry, I don't have it on the chart. I'm looking at a different chart. Look at that pullback to VWAP. We kind of just held right there. Let's see if we retake 70 and maybe go higher here.
So
sorry. One really quick here. Smoke Tuna declaring that Silo is done for the morning. There you go.
GME, that one is giving back all its movement out of the open. LASE still hasn't recovered from
AMC, by the way, did the same thing as GME here. Here is LASE.
Yeah, WNW, that Weimu Chinese retail company stock, that one is now beneath its 200 EMA. For me, I think this could go as low as 90 cents before it finds a bottom, but we'll see. AEON, that's now beneath its VWAP. Heard that Silo getting mentioned. That looks like it could go lower. I would say if we don't get a bounce at the 65 EMA, which I had at 187, which is not a great number for a stock, then we're probably going to end up breaking through that too.
TKLF, this was a penny stock mentioned by Wiss earlier. Smoke Tuna on this one now. Again, we're getting another push away from the VWAP here. And taking a look at VLCN, that was a recent mover for us. That is popping here. This really came back in. That was a nasty backside move here on VLCN.
Amazon, the best performing Mag 7 today. I don't think it's hard to understand why. Some of the other ones are pretty much or close to flat.
Crow saying DJT possible red to green move here. We'll see if this really needs to take out the consolidation area in that 41 handle. We're beneath that by several points here. That's what we're waiting for here on DJT. Schwab coming right back to the VWAP here. I'm actually just going to it's still holding in though.
With DJT, I think it's a good practice to just look and see what it's been doing in pre-market. And that, to me, seems like there's going to be a established bottom. If this thing breaks out and then starts to come back in, it looks like in the lower 36, maybe actually 36 exactly, might be a really good support area. Just looking at the after hours and pre-market and DJT, that's what's jumping out at me.
Okay, Schwab still holding in here at its VWAP. Amazon working, stay focused. Okay, so it looks like that came back into its pre-market level and tried to bounce there. Schwab's still holding its VWAP. Glad we didn't stop out there. This looks like it wants to try and go higher here on Schwab. Let's see if we can actually double up that position if we do that. Silo tank, I'll flip around.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
It went down almost to that 65 EMA I just mentioned. And he was saying that this looked like it was going to be done. So that was a great mention on him.
Amazon back to the VWAP. Wiss mentioning that TKLF is actually taking out big offer walls here. Wiss, I appreciate you mentioning that because I'm not watching the level 2 here. That's actually helpful information there. And VAX getting mentioned in the chat. VAX at the high. This looks like this is trying to go higher. What'd you got, 13?
Look at the RSP, the equal weights S&P 500 index.
Hey, finally, that's been a laggard. That's been a laggard here.
Yeah, this is interesting because this means that we might get some of that divergence to kind of close, collapse a bit. That'd be great.
LCFY, sorry, 13 halted here to the upside 493. Now the thing about RSP, we talked a lot about kind of tech rotation here. We actually talked with Matt Malley yesterday. He kind of threw some cold water on that rotation. Be interested to see what other names, what other laggards start to kind of catch back up.
Mm-hmm.
Rob coming back into that 70 level. I'll tell you, this looks like it wants to go, but boy, oh boy, it's really struggling to do so.
DJT now trying to push above 38.50. $40 would be the next target I have if we can successfully close over this on the 5-minute chart.
We'll bring up DJT here real quick. We'll take a look at it. That is pushing here. Crow, that was good timing on that one, my man.
Yep. Good
timing on that, Crow. Caw, baby, caw. See, I don't even want the soundboard one because I'm just going to do it myself, frankly. That's where it's at.
Oh gosh.
LPA.
LPA to 1,000, maybe. She's flying, man.
I got that. That's just for you, 13. That's just for you.
Stay focused. Yeah, we did briefly touch on QS this morning. So your buy target, I don't know if I recall what that was.
Yeah, I don't recall what that is either. Stay focused. Let us know.
Yeah, let me see here.
While you're looking that up, Jay mentioning Qs have underperformed the transports and Russell for 4 days. Schwab again coming back into its VWAP here.
Well, you know, I was looking at something that I thought was pretty interesting when it came to the Mag 7 and you know, the insider selling. We have Zuckerberg selling his stock every time it hits 500. He's been doing that well ever since it's been in the getting into the 500 handle. We have Bezos selling around 200. He's been doing that a lot, and then we also have help me with the Google's CEO's name. I'm really bad with that one, but he's been selling as well. Not nearly as much in terms of dollar amounts that Bezos and Zuckerberg have, but that's 3 CEOs that are selling their stock now in June and July. That should be something that we should all be paying attention to, I think.
Yeah. I'm paying attention here. Sorry, I'm kind of locked in on Schwab. Actually doubled up the position again here, hoping that we push away from the VWAP. If we lose this, though, we're just going to go ahead and close it and wait for another setup. Still, I'm hoping for a push here, and a move above 70 would be ideal. It's actually struggling right now with the VWAP. Lots of sell orders coming through the tape as well. See, though?
A lot of these are just kind of
nope. We're going to close this one and wait for this to set up. That bounce, all right so far, but wanted a little bit more there. Was hoping to kind of scale into that. Did not go well. Didn't get out with a loss, though, so that's all right. Pachai, Sunder Pachai is so. Thank you, Tom. I was locked in there. Tom, giving you the assist there on that. Let me look through the rest of the chat here. Massive all BKNG. No one talking about this breakout except Anne Marie last week. Well, no one's surprised about that. Anne Marie's got her eye all over the place. No Anne Marie today, unfortunately. She had a conflict today. We will be back on Friday, though. Jay, here is your booking chart. This is that breakout above 4,050.
Now, you know, a lot of people talking about splits. This is one such company that could probably do well with one.
Yeah. Sure could. Let's take a look at Tesla here. Tesla, big red candles. We are down to this 240, maybe a potential bounce here on Tesla. Lynn, what do you think? What are you guys looking at here on Tesla?
I'll take a look at Tesla. I like looking at Tesla. I got levels for Tesla. Let's see where they're going to hit me.
INOD, a little bit of continuation from yesterday. Noticing that here wasn't on any of my scanners, but I do have a chart that I keep up here. INOD looking like that's going to continue here. Schwab's still flirting with this VWAP. I swear, if this goes, and it just kind of shook me out, we were on the plan the entire day. Still kind of flirt with the VWAP here. I'm still keeping an eye on this.
For Tesla, I'd like to see some support occur around 247.25. It's oddly specific, but it's just a common area of support and resistance, and that number might be skewed by a number of cents, but I think that's a level I would put on my chart for the time being.
Real quick, stay focused mentioning Delta here, ticker DAL. This actually having a nice morning. No entry in this yet. You know, the one thing that I would like to see is a move back up here towards 47. Be interesting to see if it takes out 45. We're currently at 44.14. This is interesting. Stay focused. Are you in this here today? And then Schwab here still teasing this area. The volume is compressing. The price is compressing, but we're really holding this VWAP area here. We're actually above it now. I do want to trade this so badly. Do I go back to it? 13? Do I go back to it?
Do one share just so you can say you
no, I definitely I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I'm kind of seeing that too, Jay Rice.
Here, maybe we'll do a starter here at 70.
And the RSP is just ripping.
249, our treading water zone on Tesla. Okay. Nike perking up. Boy, that's an here. Let me see if I can get 50 more here on Schwab. See if we can come back into that 70 and fill that. Oops, is this the push away? We'll see. We're not going to chase that. That's for sure. Ryan, add to the winners. Yeah. Well, Schwab was a winner, but it was really, really, really small. Let's see if we get filled here. We did get filled. Yeah. So we'll see if we bounce here off 70. Stay focused. We'll be real tight with that, though.
Big drop in Bitcoin. Thanks, Jonathan Cooper, for pointing that out.
Schwab, can we get going here? See, that's the thing here on this bounce. Stay focused. It looks like it wants to go, but it like can't gain that traction, at least not yet. Would love to see this push here. First spot. Well, we'll do it right here. First spot here that we really want to see this get over is going to be the 70-30 area and maybe 70-40. There's a pull. So it looks like the sellers aren't done yet here.
Yeah, Whisk, that was a great mention, but I don't know if this is a pop, dude. This is actually kind of like a blast off almost.
Which one?
NAAS.
Here, let me take a look at that here.
That's a good mention.
Oh yeah.
That's a good mention.
Oh yeah, Whisk is a sharp guy. Really good eye on that. Oh, Schwab, we're hanging in there. We'll see. We're 1 for 1 on Schwab, but it was small. We'll see if we get another one here. Here is Nike. Indeed, finally, Nike actually making some upside move here.
AFRM.
BDRX. Sorry.
Above VWAP. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's totally BDRX. This is trying to curl here. We'll see. Now, AFRM, let's take a look at that one. That actually might be a better trade. That is above the VWAP there. What do you want to see this get above 33, excuse me?
Yeah, I want to see it. Well, let's see. It's already above the pre-market highs, so I'd be looking more to the left to see what the next levels could be. And I think I had mentioned some earlier. 33 seems like a pretty good next upside target. Looks like there is a bit of quite a handful of sell orders at 33 even. Huh? So I have to get through that first. Yeah. A lot of sell orders piling in too.
Pull back to the VWAP here on a firm. See if I can figure out what are some of the other traders out there doing. Let me take a look and see if I can find some for you.
Hey, Line Atlas.
Some of the day traders that I follow along with, they're on the same things we are. ALLO, TKLF, Silo, GovX. They're trading the same things we are, so we're there on that.
Yeah, TKLF moving right now.
Let's go back to the Twitter streets. And let me see if there's anything else that I can see here. Wall Street. Stock guys. Funny tweet here. If you're married, every day is Prime Day. You'll have to confirm or deny that for me, 13. No, I don't know.
I'll open up my orders list in Amazon later and see if that's true. I'm sure to find plenty of things on its way.
TKLF. Okay, so you guys are saying that that's getting wild here. It's just Schwab so far is working. We've really got to see this kind of gear here. TKLF. We do have several pushes to the upside here. So Wiss, you've been on this early. You're saying they took out a wall of 250,000 sellers there at 63 cents. Okay.
Crow. So with Root, is this pullback that we're getting right now? Is this where we want to add because we think this is going higher? I see that it seems like that's what it does almost every morning. Get a little bit of a pop and then drop, and then it just kind of rises. That's what's been doing the past couple of days. Kind of curious if that's what you're anticipating with this movement here. A little bit of a bounce right at this 76 level and going higher.
I'll tell you what, though, that move down to the 40 level, God, that was a buy. Should have done that. Oh, MJ Green with the quote of the day so far: "A package a day keeps divorce at bay." Let's go. I'm actually going to screenshot that because I think that's so awesome. MJ Green, you a winner.
AEON trying to turn around. It's headed towards VWAP, but slowly.
Getting another call here that NVIDIA is flushing. NVIDIA indeed. And actually, this is a good call here. That selling volume ramped up here.
That was the other one. The CEO of NVIDIA is also selling too, and a lot.
Yeah.
And I think the big concern
makes sense to me. I mean,
and I think the big concern was with this one is because we know that their employees have kind of become millionaires by having the employer stock options. So at some point, they're going to have to sell too. Now, I don't know if they are restricted units that they own, but if the CEO is able to sell, I think that some of them have to be able to be sold as well. So when the employees start selling, we might see quite a bit of tumbling with NVIDIA. I'm anticipating that there will be some selling and profit taking in this. The CEO is already starting to do it. I think others are going to do it as well.
Microsoft seeing a whole swath of call buys. They're small, but it's a whole bunch of them on Microsoft right there. NVIDIA still moving here to the lows. Jay bought peanut butter on Prime Day. Hey, man, whatever deal you can find there, go ahead and get it. Pro tip for any of you that like peanut butter, the Costco Kirkland brand organic one with the oil at the top that you have to stir literally might be the best peanut butter you can buy. That's just say it. Just saying. I like peanut butter too. Peanut butter and apples, peanut butter and bananas. I mean, peanut butter. Yes. DJT, let's take a look at that here real quick. The Schwab, we're still in that. That's holding DJT here. After that initial move back to the VWAP, we actually lost the VWAP here. Let's see if this firms up. TKLF continuing its move here towards the highs. Looks like we're going to set some new highs here. See if we take out 69.
AFRM knifed, and now it's going lower.
ALF.
Same thing with GME. This thing's much lower than the open now.
Whew, that was a flush. We'll talk about a flush. And by the way, here on Schwab, this does look like this is trying to go here. This is the spot. We're right here. Let's go. There it is. Now let's start to move. That would be ideal.
You'll win trying to push above VWAP right now. Things are leaky. I think GL is trying to push higher. I think you have support at VWAP. It's been riding VWAP all morning.
GL? That's the short report that ended up making bank for a bunch of people?
Crow mentioning costs in the danger zone. What else are we seeing?
VRPX getting a mention here from Wiss, who's literally in Fuego today. VRPX at the highs.
Oh, wow.
Market Sniper on that as well. Sissy, this was another mention from earlier. We'll take a look at that. That's Shineco here. AEON looking like this curled and went through its VWAP on AEON.
There's a
if you're in this one, this is a trim move for me. This move right here, I'd be trimming that.
VRPX is getting into a supply zone, so expect some resistance up in the 150s.
Here is that VRP. Oh, there it goes. 150 right to that 155. It looks like it stopped there. 159 now you're high.
Yeah, that supply zone pretty much ends in the high 160s. All right. Just kind of looking around, see what there is to trade. Looks like things are kind of pulling back, or they're just leaving the station without me. Glenn Adams asking, what do you think about IPW?
IPW. All right. Looks like my Schwab trade went red on me. Let's see if we give this up here. I didn't want that to happen.
Let's see. IPWs. I need to look into this a little bit more, but looks like
is that IPV? Is it related to IP? Because that was one that we've seen recently move. Let me bring it up here real quick.
Well, the thing I'm just noticing,
I kind of want to watch this Schwab trade because I feel like maybe it goes against me. Here's IPW, iPower.
Mm-hmm. Just had a nice, bit of volume a moment ago, and then it just kind of disappeared. I don't know what the thought here is with this one, but if we're day trading this, I'll tell you some targets I'd be looking for.
I'm more partial to IPWR, but we've talked about that. iPower.
Yeah. If this continues to move up, 220 seems pretty good to me. I don't know what your plan is for this one, but if we continue with this momentum, 220 looks like that'd be the next target I'd be going for. So you're 20 cents away.
Just looking at the markets here, Dow up fractionally, or Dow up by 1%, SPY up fractionally, and NASDAQ down fractionally. Out TKLF 52 to 66, Tuna.
Nice.
That sounds like a register ring coming from me. Also a one up. Nice trade there. You were all, you folks, it was not just you. You folks were all over that here. Crow mentioning Silo. That is starting to curl right at 2 there.
Yeah, it looks like it got support from the 65 EMA on the 5 minutes, so we'll see if it can turn around here. Looking for it to get back up to VWAP, which I have at 21.16. I'm sorry, 2.16.
I have that also. Mine says 2.18. That looked like 2.16. 2.8. That's right there, though.
Yeah, right there.
Schwab also teasing like it was going to break out again there and not able to do it. Boy, I tell you what, this thing better make up its mind and do it here.
NAAS getting a mention. Trying for new high a day. Looks like it's been getting that. See some consolidation from yesterday's pre-market beginning at $4. Yeah, it looks like Silo is trying to turn around here. We just need to see that get back up to VWAP, maybe even recapture it. So we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
Sorry,
this is one that we've mentioned briefly. I think Gerald has been on this. Gerald Fitz. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, OKLO, we've taken a look at this one. I actually took a loss on this the last time I tried to swing this one. But having a nice little day here today so far. Sold half of TKLF, not trying to cover. Nice job, Wiss. Register ring there. Schwab, can you finally do it now? Can we finally just move higher here? This is what we've literally been waiting for what feels like, a half hour? More than that, maybe? Let's get rolling here, huh? Stay focused. Let's get rolling here. Just want to thank everyone for hanging out with us here again this morning. No, I don't do that every day. We are thankful every day. Ooh, had to sneeze there. Sorry about that. Anyway, I appreciate you all spending your morning with us here. Also, sharing trading ideas. That arguably is the best thing ever.
Yeah, it gives me more than just what I find in the morning. That's for sure.
Yeah, me too. Nike over the crest here. Nike's trying. We've been talking about Nike a lot recently. 65, I still think probably that big bounce spot on Nike.
Completely reasonable for it to go down a little bit more.
Ryan, still waiting for the Benzinga hoodie. Was this one that we owe you, that you won at some point? Alyssa would be the person to talk to on that. Or shoot me an email and I can facilitate it for you.
ATGL, says Wiss, setting up like oh well, it's it's already making the moves. I think I'm a little slow then. Yeah, I'm a little slow because this one was setting up too for trying to recapture its VWAP, and it's pushing over it now. Now we need to see this close. We got 30 more seconds left in this candle for it to close. Hopefully it stays above VWAP. I believe that would imply more upside.
Emilio and Nick has moved on, at least for the summer here. Still a friend of Benzinga, and you will still occasionally see him in the chat as well. We wish Nick well. We do have an awfully awesome community. I like the alliteration there, Carmen. Ne sais pas. I don't speak French. My French is terrible, but I tried. But yes, we do. I fully believe that we have the best community, and this community actually extends into Benzinga Pro as well, whether it's the happy hour group or the chat channel. Just FYI. Love moving up. You know, that was a potential, you know, here, let me actually go to the love chart real fast. A bigger one, because that was a potential 200-day setup. We actually talked about that here on the show. Let me bring that up here real fast. Boop. Here we go. Daily chart. So here you go. We've been looking for this to kind of recapture the 200-day. So Lion, love this because so far here, we are actually above this by 12 cents. Let's see if we get a close above this level. Ideally, what we like to see here is multiple closes above this 200-day. But if you wanted to try and get in this as early as possible, I understand. Let's wait and see where this is at near the end of the day here. We are getting that 200-day reclaim. Look at this. Look at Love has really just been kind of battling this 200-day. We reclaim that and move higher here. This is a decent swing. Lion Atlas, I like this. I like that this is on your radar.
Yeah, I was looking into some things with Nike, and it was interesting to find out that they are not the biggest, I guess, sponsor, we'll call them, of international football or soccer. Adidas is. Being that that's the biggest, most popular sport in the world, I think there's, a lot of money being left on the table by letting Adidas eat that lunch. Just my opinion.
Yeah,
I think Nike needs to get into that.
So are they letting them, or are they just failing? That would be my question, because Adidas has always been a soccer brand, or Adidas, or however you're supposed to pronounce it.
Yeah.
It's always kind of been a soccer brand, has it not?
I think so. But they're not the leader in that particular sport. You know how like Nike's the leader when it comes to basketball. And Nike still makes sports equipment for soccer. But I think the lack of popular names, representing the company is probably what's hurting it in the soccer realm. That would just be my guess. I have nothing to back that up with.
Taboola here, this is being called here by the chat, TBLA. This halted here to the upside, 376. Taboola. So there's a really good question here by Elon. I'll go ahead and take this really quickly as I'm doing this. I'm watching Schwab roll over here. I'm actually going to close that before it goes red. Not taking a red here. Not yet. Hi, Ryan at 13. When you day trade, do you wet your beak and average in if the trend aligns with your expectation, or are you all in on the first shot? So this is a really good question here. A lot of this depends on the environment for me. If the environment that we're in right now, where I just don't have confidence of holding things for longer than 5 minutes, I'm normally all in, all out. In an ideal situation where I have a good setup and a good chart and all of that stuff, that's good. I'll scale in here. And when things are really working, especially if I'm like having a number of good days in a row, that's when I start to increase my size. I wait till I can prove to myself that I'm doing it correctly. Once I do it correctly, that's when you start increasing your size. How about you, 13? You like layering in or just one shot?
Averaging in for day trades, in my opinion, is very risky, and I think you end up hurting yourself if you try to do it that way. I don't think you should be averaging into day trades any more than once. For long-term trades, I think averaging in is probably the better way to go. But for me, I don't tend to always do just a huge amount and let it ride. I usually have one or two levels that I decide, okay, I'm going to get in here and in here, and if it doesn't work out, then I'm out here. So averaging in once, I think, is all right, but you keep doing that, then I think you're setting yourself up for even bigger losses. So I don't think averaging in for day trades is necessarily a good idea.
Okay. There you go. Very helpful, says Elon. Good. Glad that helped. I like Adidas golf apparel. I'm not sure if I own any Adidas golf apparel. I like golf apparel just in general.
Yeah, smoke tuna, exactly. I'd say that doing it once is okay if you have a plan of how you're going to be doing that. But if you're constantly averaging into day trades, I think you're doing exactly what you said. You're just flushing your money down the toilet.
Real quick, Market Sniper here for Adidas. All day I dream about stocks. ADIDAS. Let's go, Market Sniper. Let's go. Jay bringing up a good point here too. Polaroid dominated film for 50 years. Invest or reinvent or you die. Nike has brand issues. This is actually something that we had multiple discussions with yesterday. One of the sneakerheads that is a shoe collector and actively been in that market for several decades was saying that a lot of the youth are starting to move towards other shoe brands, including some Chinese shoe brands, which I found interesting, or I guess surprising. 13 when we had that discussion last night.
Yeah, because Nike gets what I think about 30% of their products made in China.
Yeah.
So I didn't really see how that would the fact that it's that these Chinese brands are getting popular. I didn't think that was really a big deal because they've been getting all the different designs and ideas from the companies they've been manufacturing for a long time. Now they're just making their own using what they've learned.
Indeed. Sorry, I have TBLA still on the screen here. We've been having a number of discussions, and I really haven't been floating around. Schwab here, I guess kind of glad I traded that. This is still in play, but it hasn't worked yet, so we're okay. TKLF, for you penny players, this has been the big winner here in a 70-cent handle now here. 72, 73 cents on that. Just kind of going through some of the other movers here. AEON still really can't get above its VWAP here. CIFRs is going to be with some of the Bitcoin names here. That's actually at the highs here. How's CLSK? You mentioned that one earlier. That also back to the highs after that little bit of a pull there.
And, I like how we've got varying opinions on where Nike will go. I absolutely love it because this is what creates a market. You need to have both sides of this equation. We're going to have buyers. We're going to have sellers. We're going to have longs. We're going to have shorts. Let's just keep this going. I don't think either one of those, the comments on either side are necessarily incorrect. They're valuable information. We need to just take it and process it for ourselves.
Real quick here, Chewy, this up here at 28. Jay mentioning Chewy GME. It's like watching a dog race last week or so. I'm not sure I know what you mean by that. Chewy actually looks pretty decent here, whereas the GME chart, I mean, it is curling here. I just don't know if I trust this chart. Stay focused saying you're out of Schwab. Okay, me too. We tried. I mean, at least it didn't lose on it, right? Glenn giving you the next price here, $28.80 for Chewy next.
Stay focused. Did your QS price target get scratched? Because I'm looking at the price action here. We came down to the 200 EMA on the 5-minute, which the price action interestingly found a support area down at the 845 level, where it was kind of going sideways yesterday after it had its initial run. So this is a very interesting level that it's at right now. You can draw a line from the bottom here and see how this has been, we've been getting support. Great bounce off of this. Now, I guess I want to know, do we think it's going above VWAP? It certainly looks like it's trying to push above that, but it just hasn't made that move yet, and the volume is starting to wane a bit. Just curious to know what you think. 840? Okay. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Oh, that's great.
It almost went right there, actually.
Because it's right at the bottom of that consolidation that I was just talking about. Look at 140 and draw a line all the way across and look at this.
840, you mean?
840. Isn't that what I said?
You said 140.
I'm sorry, 840.
Some of the stocks we're trading are $1, so it makes sense.
Going to 140 has been some of the things that the stocks this morning have been doing. No, but you get a line at 840. Look at a smaller time frame. You can see the price action at that particular level and how it's been resistance, and then it turned to support yesterday, and it's been support ever since. Been support ever since. All right, what's good, folks?
I'm going to close up my Val trade here. That one, that really worked. Pulled back a little bit.
Looks like Global Life is trying to push over 88.70, the high that it made in about 25 minutes ago. Volume needs to be a little bit better, but it's looking like that's the price it's headed for.
And then one more thing. Sorry, just talking to myself
BLCN
again.
getting mentioned. I'm going to take a look at BLCN. And guys are also talking about DVN, ENB. I like those. I like my ENB midstream. BLCN, that was a huge pop, and now it's come back in a little bit. Did this thing halt or not? That's a pretty nice move.
And VLCN?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Let me bring it up here. Put it on screen, as Picard would say.
Interesting thing about the high that it made, you put a horizontal line right there and look to the left. That was the bottom of the consolidation from after hours and pre-market the day before. Okay, thank you. Stay focused. Baba's going to 2x or, oh, gotcha. Okay. I read that wrong. I guess we're just looking at Baba Crow because these names have been particularly smacked around, or is this a particular level that you were waiting for it to get to this morning? VRPX, that is pushing up, trying to take out 167. What else do we have going on here? Tuesdays have been good trading days. Yeah, it's been pretty good these past several weeks, hasn't it?
Indeed. Okay.
KZIA is tickling the candles. Well, let me take a look and see what this action's about here.
Which ticker? Sorry.
She mentioned KZIA.
Oh yeah, that's another recent one that has been moving. I know it's a penny stock, but that's been moving along recently. I'm still trying to figure out what's going on here.
I could draw a trend line from the high this morning at 70 all through those pops that it had. And I see a trend that this needs to break. And as soon as that breaks, we could probably end up seeing this thing get a really good move in. Ryan, if you want to pull up KZIA, and you see the 70-cent wick there this morning.
That's going to be right in here, right? That's right here.
No, the earliest one.
Right here, top of the pre-market.
Earlier than that. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So go draw a trend line from there all the way through all the other peaks that it had this morning. That's the trend to watch for it to break.
There it is.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. That would be juicy if it did. Uh-oh, everybody's laughing at Fairchild. What do you say? Oh, he's got corn stuck in his head. NNOX looking good, says Lion Atlas. Why? Because it's been absolutely hammered. Yeah, it does look like it's trying to find a bottom here, doesn't it? VWAP, sinking. So if this is, I'm going to want to see a close above this 200 EMA on the 5-minute, which I currently have at 889. So as long as we close above 889 on this current candle, I'd feel pretty well, not pretty confident, but more comfortable for a reversal setup here.
LPA maybe curling here. LTR right at its VWAP.
A firm's still trying to get back above VWAP. It's currently in the process of doing so. Same with AEON. Root made new highs. And wouldn't you know it, right off that 65 EMA that I was asking about. Now does it go higher? Who knows?
Pays on the scanner, PAYS, that's pay sign. That at the highs, that actually moved off its VWAP. Let's see if anything's going on with this one here.
Yeah, any news?
No, don't see anything here. Oh, you know what? This was a, who was this? This was a partner link. Let me see if I could figure this out. This was a Investors Place article. Let me see if they gave this as one of the stocks. Pays? I don't, yeah. Yeah, so Investors Place had an article here titled 7 Growth Stocks to Buy Under $5 for Massive Gains. And one of them here is Pays. It says it's based in Henderson, Nevada, operates the infrastructure software space. While patience will still be required for Pays stocks. See, they're taking our joke now. I don't like it.
Hey, great mention.
Here, let me just finish giving you the thesis here. In the trailing 12-month period, Paysign posted a net income of $6.93 million of sales of $50.32 million. Looking out to the end of the year, analysts are hoping for sales of $56.82 million. If so, that would imply a growth rate of 20.2%. Further, fiscal 2025 sales could hit $63.91 million, up 12.5%. Therefore, this is a solid candidate for a growth stock under $5. That's your the only thing I see here on Pays is it looks like it was a pick from Investors Place.
Okay. Just wanted to say shout out to Jonathan Cooper, Mag 7 all red apart from Amazon. That's very different than what it was they were showing us earlier this morning. Now they're really into the red with some of these names: Tesla, Nvidia, and Microsoft. Much more red than they were earlier. So I'm going to take a look at the SPY here and see what I can.
Real quick here, Tuna saying, Ryan, I take these articles as pumps. Indeed, that I totally understand that. That's just I'm going over anything that I see here for what might be driving it. That's really it. That's really all I see so far.
I'm wondering if we lose. If you lose 562 in the SPY, that we go down to 560. Kind of wondering if that's what we're going to see. That's what I'm going to watch for today at the SPY. If we lose, if we start trading underneath 562, I think we're going to go down to 560, maybe just a bit under it. No guarantee that that happens.
Okay.
That's just what I'm watching for.
Okay.
Article written by a guy with a Lambo. Maybe. Just waiting for everybody to pile into it so he can sell from all the gains. Another regular Zach Morris. Looks like NAAS is starting to get a little bit more volume here, trying to push up to the intraday high of 385.
Which one? NAAS?
Yes.
There we go. Schwab dumping. Yeah. Okay. So it rolled over from its VWAP. Remember now with Schwab here, the first time that I traded this, I added down here near this bottom and it ended up working. I don't know though. We really didn't get the bounce that we were looking for here. Stay focused. I think we were right to get out of this when we did.
Oh, hey, Line Atlas, great mention, because we were discussing the last time you had talked about this, how $14 was the price target for JMIA. Now we're past that. Here's the thing. This could come in at any time. It's super extended with an RSI, a daily RSI of just under 85. This could still end up going higher, but I think we really need to see a pullback in this one first. Just super extended. But if you're still trading this one, you did a great job, man. This thing has been straight up for, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're on the 6th day. Crazy moves.
Yeah, Zach has a crypto coin. I've been seeing that, a crow. I've been seeing that crypto coin making its rounds across Twitter. Tempted to get some of it, but I ended up not doing that. Real quick here, Lauren mentioning the Dow's up 534 points. Dow here plus 552. Now that's only 1.3%, but what this does do is this kind of shows us that rotation, or at least that broadening out, seems to be happening, right? Moving out of one stock into another. Q's here down on the day.
Yeah, tech's just a little overcooked, and we're not really talking doom and gloom here. We really need to see some market correction and rebalancing happening. This is extended. We want the market to continue going up, but it's gotta.
Looking for a correction for the purpose of going higher is the opposite of doom and gloom. They're not even related.
Looks like Silo's trying to push right now.
Workhorse getting called here from Bex. This is at the highs. Workhorse, this type of, I'll go to Silo here in a sec, 13. This type of move here, this is the type we want to see, right? This just kind of traded sideways, and then all of a sudden it started to ramp. Quicker you can catch that, the better off this particular trade is. This one not bad. I wonder what happened here. Silo next here, SILO. Looking like we're coming back towards the VWAP.
What happened with Workhorse that made it come down so much? Is that what you were asking?
No.
Oh, I thought I heard you say something about Workhorse. It must be just the move you were talking about, right?
No, what I was saying here on Workhorse is that this is what we want to see, right? This just is kind of trading sideways, and then bang, volume flows into it. It starts moving to the high. This is where you want to take that. The earlier you can get in on this move, obviously, the more profitable it is.
Okay. Jay Rice, I think he was trading it for a bounce, not for breakouts. Which is what I would do for the other
clearly it had an earnings print. I was waiting for the sellers to get exhausted, was looking for a bounce, but I mentioned that. I mean, that was as clear as day. Ryan, remember when I said start adding to DIA and happy hours? Someone had granny jokes. Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah, I do too.
I do remember that. That is funny. Now who's laughing? Stay focused.
Yeah. Who's laughing now?
Hey, look, I sign off now. Your name has become part of my own lexicon. I mean, I sign off with stay safe, stay green, stay focused. Looks like somebody was staying focused there.
So, Lion Atlas, bringing up a great point with JMIA, and let me see if I can pull up this site, because I was taking a look at it, and it's it should be known to quite a few of us by now. Let me see here. freedomhouse.org. They have some really interesting pieces of data and some tools for figuring out where internet access and the freedom of internet access is spreading. So looking at some of these African countries, it would be really helpful for JMIA to see where the internet access is growing, where their allowance of internet use is spreading. And I think that would go really well with your JMIA thesis here. I just think that, and I think you're right, that eventually JMIA will end up going higher. But as of right now, it is super extended, and it needs to come back in. It needs to take one step back so it can take 2, 3, 5 steps forward. That's basically what it is. Silo now up to VWAP, and Lynn Williams mentioning ACHR. Yeah, that's back up to 520. 520 has been a big resistance / support level in this stock. So If we're going to get a move over 520, we might get a lot of volume. Well, I'm seeing right now that this has been the biggest volume candle so far today, trying to get back over it. So we'll see what happens here with ACHR, but 520 is a super, super important historical level. Don't worry, there's still plenty of air around me. I know I just talked a lot. LILM just don't want to move with ACHR and Joby. Well, LILM, even though I like that company, I think they're a little bit further behind in terms of getting partners together to develop and use their aircraft. I think it's going to be a great stock at some point, and I love their aircraft. But ACHR and Joby are a little bit further ahead.
Real quick here, Crow's worried that there's a white Sprinter van. Sounds like the feds are outside his house. GLHF with that. Ryan HD on track. So it looks like you're talking about that Home Depot. That was the 200-day play again, right? Yeah, it sure was. Here it is. All right, so here was your chart on Home Depot. Right, you had this the close above the 200-day is the trigger here. This third day of that, we actually got a dip beneath this 346. That was the entry trigger. That was a previous consolidation area. 13 talks about these, what I think you call them supply zones, where there was a whole bunch of stock. Talks about these all the time. It's also lined up with the bottom of the gap, by the way. Anyway, when we triggered this, it's been all roses since then. Let's call it 347, right? Maybe because you want that to confirm 347, almost 20 points since that move here on Home Depot. Nike, however, was the other one that was kind of mentioned along with that. Nike, unfortunately, not able to really turn around here. We discussed Nike at length here. They've obviously got brand problems.
Mm-hmm. I want to say I kind of remember when you said that, Jay Rice. I think I don't necessarily think I was doing live trading with y'all in February. I know it started in February, but I don't remember exactly what day it was. But that your comment does ring a bell. I just don't. I can't remember when that was in February. Igor is asking for SWBI. This is obviously moving off of the occurrences that happened over the weekend. Currently, this one. This is actually, we just talked about supply zones. This is traded right up to one and got rejected at $16. So if you look at a daily chart from June 20th and backwards to May, there's about a bunch of consolidation there, and that's where the price has run up to and been rejected at. So it's going to need to work its way through there in order for more upside. And as of now, $16 is the level to break. So that's about all I have for you on that one. I think what you're going to want to see is the 50-day SMA hold the price up. To be bullish, I think that's what you're going to want to see. Silo 70 billion volume with 3.7 million float. Yeah, that's how these things do be, isn't it?
Sorry, I was just looking at this monster, this rather large MSTR, MNST print there. That looks like that was someone bailing on a trade, though, not a new one.
Line Atlas trading OZK, banking start reporting. Well, yeah, they started reporting last on Friday. JPM kicked us off, but let's take a look at OZK here.
OZK.
Oh, so with this one actually just filled the gap. This one just filled the gap. So that's cool. Man, this had a really good setup too. It was flagging upon breaking over the 200-day SMA. 50-day SMA gave it support, and now we're finishing filling the gap. Not sure how much more this is going to move up. It's getting to be overbought. Not overbought yet, but it's getting there pretty quick. maybe we see a little bit of pullback. If we do, I would want to not see it go any lower than 44.50, and then try to go higher from there. No guarantee that that's what we'll get, but that's what would be, that's what would be the best type of price action to see in something that's had a run such as this. A little bit of pullback, take off.
Scanner seems to have dried up a little bit here. Not a whole lot on there. Option flow, not great either. I guess I shouldn't say not great. Not seeing anything here. Seeing some puts coming in on Lantheus, Jay. Maybe a little bit of a regression back to the mean move there on that trade. Those Lantheus puts, those are for January of 2025. About 466 of them. Those are the $35. Oh my God. I don't know about that. Flipping through some other stocks here, seeing if I can find anything. NAAS, Jonathan Cooper.
We have Poet is Raging from FRA UK. It's up 9%, a little more than 9%, but I think the formation here in this one is more interesting than the price action today. It looks like this could do get a breakout over 4. The problem is that it's a little extended right now at 72 RSI on the daily, but still I like this setup. If this breaks out over 4, then I'll tell you right now, I would not be surprised. We're getting support from the 50-day SMA after it broke over that, so that's good. This is a great mention. I like this. I don't even know what this company does. I just like the chart formation that we're seeing here. So I think a breakout of 4 is what I'd be looking for. I just don't know enough about this company to be more determined about that.
Look at our chat. Silo. You guys are absolutely watching the chart. Silo busting through the VWAP here, finally moving to the upside. Size there at 230, which just got deleted. Here's your intraday high here. There's a little bit of size there, but that's nothing compared to what just got swallowed. Here we go here on Silo. Let's see if we move higher. It's a great call. You guys were on that fast.
Yeah, it's getting back up into the overhead supply here. If we can chew through this, 260, that's the level I'd be shooting for.
So right above this at 240 is a little bit more size. Watch this 235, 240 area here on Silo. This was a great call, guys. You guys were on this. As soon as I brought it up, we went through that area. Now they're starting to bring some more offers in here. Maybe those were offers that were pulled off that 230 spot when it got deleted. I actually saw that on the tape, though.
Well, the offers are coming in because we're coming through the consolidation here.
Yeah.
That I just mentioned. We're trying to chew our way through that. And they'll get mostly through it after 250.
It doesn't really, here we go at 235, does not really seem to have trouble chewing through those offers that you're talking about, 13. Looks like it's going to go right through it here.
I see some, oh, wow, there we go.
There, look at that, bang, bang, right through those two levels. So we talk a lot, you guys got to see that there live. We talk a lot about some of these blocks, some of these offers where it's like, hey, it's stopping there. Yeah, it can stop it there. But what happens is when those blocks fall, that's now a change in sentiment. In fact, we actually saw someone bringing in size here at 240 as we clear that out. 250, your high here. 254's got some more size. Silo ripping right here.
Yep. That was a good one. And it's at the, it's aside from the 260 pop, it is now at the highs of those, of that pre-market consolidation. So coming back in here, not something that's unexpected. Now, as long as it holds above VWAP, I still think there's the possibility that it could take out that 260, but it's really coming in right now, folks. So let's just look for a VWAP hold at this point. LGVN possible reversal. Take a look at that there.
Nice job, Webcoin, on the silo scalp there. Let's wait for this to kind of set up here. It's pulling off that impulse move, 250 the high. I don't think that's in for the day yet, though. Robert, considering it's 10:48 a.m., I think I'm done here. Not bad if your day's ending before 11 o'clock. That's for sure.
Absolutely. With LGVN, it's got a lot of great things going for this setup, except for the volume. It's not there. So I don't know that we see this one reverse absent the volume that it needs in order to do, get back above VWAP, or at least get to VWAP. It is that is currently keeping it down right now. So VWAP is the first step I think we need to go, and we need some expanding in volume in that one first.
$3 might be a potential bounce spot here on LGVN if it continues to come in.
Let me take a look at that.
Smoke Tuna saying it's a dead cat. It wants nothing to do with LGVN right now.
I could see, okay, somewhere between 310 and 315, maybe there might be a better bounce spot. Looking at an hour chart, I think that's what I would go with. But other than that, I think I'd have to tend to agree. This might just be a dead cat, and it's just going to end up going lower. But let's see what happens at between 310 and 315. All right. Well, after all the pulse excitement from Silo, what's next? I guess we're just waiting to see if Silo will hold this VWAP, aren't we? It is right there. It just actually bounced out there.
I'm looking on the Twitter streets here. I'm seeing a ticker we haven't looked at yet. HYPR. Very, very low volume. Decent ramp here. I don't really know what to make of this.
NAAS getting mentioned, and it looks like Silo is trying to push up again, but needs a little bit more volume than this.
Yeah.
Here's
your NAAS. Here you go.
This one's trying to go for 4 again. I think this one might push up to at least 4 here, but I don't know what it's going to do. The volume in a lot of these names that we're looking at, it's really starting to leave the market. So just keep that in mind as we approach, lunch hour, where pretty much all the volume leaves. We start to see these cool off a bit.
Hey, Chipotle is green. That's been an oddity recently. Let me take a look at a bigger Chipotle chart here. Well, decent day here today. Still think 52s are possible on Chipotle.
You know why it's green? Because we filled the gap. We filled the gap that was created back in March. We filled that today, bounced off the high, and or pretty close to it anyway.
Here you go. Now you're spot on, 13.
Trying to reverse that.
Spot on that. Spot on with that, 13.
So this is something to watch for CMG to see if we actually continue this reversal. I think I would like to see 5750 get taken out and closed over. Now here we go with NAS. Sorry.
Evercore downgraded Yum Brands today. There was another food name that got downgraded today. Maybe it was Evercore. Chipotle got a hold from Piper. Okay. I still think there's going to be an option here. So, okay, let me go over that. NAAS. Let's do it.
Yep. Break over 4 and it blasted off.
Smoke Tuna was saying that it was ready to take off.
Yep.
13 confirms the takeoff. Great job, team.
You sure did. All right. So we got that one. We got what was the other one? Silo. Silo doing now. Silo's coming back in. It's beneath VWAP. That was the pop and drop. All right. What's next? What's the next one that's going to move, folks? What are we seeing here?
Let me go back to my scanner and see if my scanner can give us anything new here.
Affirm. Here we go. New all-time highs.
Bring
Affirm.
up a firm here.
Not new all-time highs. I'm sorry. That was a slip. I meant new intraday highs.
Happens.
Yeah, it happens when the SPY keeps making new all-time highs every freaking day.
Yep. And when you have a ton of steak the night before.
Oh man.
Look, it was a good day. I mean, that's not a bad thing. GovX here, good call, Crow. This is right above the VWAP here. Solar Edge being mentioned by Tom. Are we getting a move back here in solar? Remember, we talked about that. That was one of the key things telling us that the market was pricing in a Trump victory here, was going to be some of those solar names really getting pounded. Solar Edge looking like it's trying to come up off the bottom here.
A Crow saying GovX maybe. It is trying to push above the or hold above VWAP at this point. I see at 325 there's a huge wall of sell orders. They're going to need a lot more volume than this to get through those. But once they do, then I have looks like 330 would be the next level to go for, which isn't too far away. Hasn't done much in terms of intraday highs. GOVX, the one I have here in the regular session is 340, which is 15 cents away. Watch for the volume to expand in this one. I think that'll tell us where we might anticipate this one going. Pre-market high in this one is 377. NAAS getting volume.
Sorry, I'm still peering over to the Twitter streets to see if I can see any new issues in there. I don't, though.
That's okay. You hunt those down for us.
I'm trying.
Yeah, NAS is really pushing, trying to get back, trying to get above 445 now. It just did, took that out. 450 is here. 480 is the intraday high from Friday. It's trying to work its way through some not really that many sell orders. 480. That's what I'd be looking for. Oh, a big old sell order just came in at 445.
Still on the offer there. It's actually growing too in size.
Mm-hmm.
They hit some of that though. I saw prints at that level when they brought it in. So that's out there. Then it deleted again. We've seen that a few times here.
Looks like ACHR is really trying to push over that 520 level. It's been working on it all morning.
I'll take that. I'll take that for sure. See how the swing account is doing. Oh my gosh, another good day. Let's go, dude. Tell you what, I am up on every... I can't wait to talk to him tomorrow. I am up on every single play that I got from Tim Melvin, with the exception of NEP. I'm down on. I'm actually up total if you aggregate them together. And that's before dividends. I've actually already got dividend payouts on 3 of these names.
That's lovely.
Yeah, I mean, let's go.
Look, QS is pushing up to its VWAP. I see that there's a pretty good amount of sell orders just under 9. It's been trying to get back above VWAP ever since it popped and dropped this morning. Watch for volume expansion. I think if we do get the volume needed to get over VWAP here, that this could end up moving a lot better.
885 looks to be that level currently right there. QS.
Yeah. It's kind of, yeah, it seems to be in a bit of a range around that, maybe 5 cents up, 5 cents beneath it, but 899 really seems like that's the big wall to get over. Hey, thanks, Fairchild.
Thing to note here on QS is in our current area here. Our current area, if you use volume profile to try and identify volume shelves for potential levels here, these actually line up really good with supply, like this consolidation that we were doing in QS. Look at the volume shelf that this made. at several of these levels. If you look where the price is at right now, I know we kind of broke out of one of these areas. This volume shelf right down here, 850, looks to be where your support is. So for me on QS, this is kind of the level that I'm looking at. This also corresponds to that low that we dropped to here today. I've got the line here that you had me draw, 13, was at 840. That was 10 cents beneath this support level, literally at the very bottom end of this volume shelf range. I think that's spot on. That was crispy. Nice.
Then asking me, what are you seeing when a big buyer just came in? The candle alone? No. You look at the price ladder and the time and sales order book. That'll show you all those things that are happening. QS back up to VWAP. Watch the volume, folks. I think it really wants to get back over VWAP. It has been trying all morning. It just needs that one big volumetric move to get it over there and keep it over there. And how is TAN holding up? Let's take a look.
It's right there. I was showing QS as you were going over that intraday chart there. TAN, the thing for me, stay focused. That we were kind of talking about this here on TAN. We did that nice little trade up to the 200-day where we were rejected. The thing about TAN here is that it looks to my eye that it would really kind of want to fill this gap to the downside. Now, it's worth noting, I've got that at 41. Let's see. Let's get you an exact price here. 41.47. Current price is 42.18. Right. So we're only 70 cents away from this level, but I would think at minimum it would test this gap on the way back down. And it just hasn't done that yet. Beyond that, I would think it would have to hold this $39, $40 level. I think that it probably would.
Lynn, level 2. Yeah, okay. I think I would want to look and see what the holdings are in TAN and what their weightings are, because this, we've been talking about how solar has been getting beaten up, but this ETF kind of says otherwise. So I want to know what's keeping this up.
Yeah, and it says that there's a limit to how beaten up that it's going to get. Okay, it is 11 o'clock. We are done for the day again, folks. No Anne-Marie today. She will be back on Friday. But really, really good stuff here today. The chat, you guys are absolutely the MVP here today. I'll give a 1-up for the entire chat here. 13, any closing words?
Hey, if you had a great day already and you're not looking or you can't really find anything else to trade, have yourself a nice rest of the day away from the computer. Go touch that grass. Go enjoy yourself outside. You did great today. Reward yourself.
It is summer. The weather is nice. Stay focused. I completely agree. Good trading with you fellers and make trading great again. We will absolutely do that. Have a good one. We'll see you on Happy Hour.